Hello again, my lovelies, and welcome back to Through the Eyes of Enji, where we're trying to cover 101 films in 365 days, raising money for We Are With You and the Shropshire Village Players. Now, today we are covering The Meg, released in 2018, directed by John Turteltaub, written by Dean Giugaris, John Hober and Eric Hober, based on the novel Meg by Steve Alton. Starring Jason Statham as Jonas Taylor, Lee Bingbing as Suvin, Ran Wilson as Morris, Cliff Curtis as Mac, and Ruby Rose as Jax. A group of scientists exploring the Marianas Trench encounter the largest marine predator that has ever existed, the Megalodon. Jaws, this is not. Good, this is not. Sounding like Yoda, I am. I can describe the Meg in 3 words. Dumb as rocks. And while I'm aware that I've used this phrase to describe a number of films that I love, including Independence Day, Solomon Kane, Pacific Rim, Street Fighter, you get the idea, I'm not using it in a positive way to describe the Meg. At all. Because the Meg is totally banal in every sense of the word, and it also made me irrationally angry, not just because of the missed opportunity, but also for the decisions made to appeal to a foreign market, which ruined previous choices and some really dumb setup, as well as a waste of a fine actress in Lee Bingbing, who, frankly, could have carried this on her own. You wasted your Statham movie, and you never waste your Statham. I was reminded frequently, whilst watching the Meg, of Deep Blue Sea. And this may have coloured my vision. Because I love Deep Blue Sea, and I find it's great at what it is. It's suspenseful, gory, and a deeply satisfying improbable film about 3 bigger-than-normal sharks with human-level intelligence who like eating bits of smokers. The Meg certainly had the opportunity to be something similar. It's got an equally daft premise. That's push our way through the bottom of the Marianas Trench, because the bottom of the ocean isn't the bottom of the ocean. Under the bottom of the ocean, there's a whole new secret ocean, and yes, really. And when they go through to the secret ocean, there's, monsters. But it carries out everything that follows in such a dull fashion, with the cast taking it so fucking seriously, with the exception of one character, which was Paige Kennedy, who plays DJ. He's in for the money. He can't swim. He doesn't think we should be here. He thinks he's being funny, when in fact he's being annoying as hell. The rest of the cast think they're in the Gene Hackman version of the Poseidon Adventure, when in truth they're closer to being in the remake. The other thing is, it's really clean as well. When you've got a giant shark chewing on you, you'd expect a few more explosions. Both with the action, including a sequence that has Statham playing chicken with a giant shark and a mini submarine. These mini submarines that seem to be reproducing at a rate that seems mostly dictated by the plot, thinking about it. It doesn't scratch the itch, let's say. And the gore effects. Granted, we're dealing with this 75-foot, apparently, shark, until there are 2. In fact, do they actually explain that? I don't think they explain that. Yeah, there are 2 of them, apparently. When you're dealing with a shark that size, yeah, okay, fine. Sometimes there's not going to be a lot of gore effects, there's going to be a lot of destruction, but there's plenty of sequences that would have gore effects that don't have them. Look, in Deep Blue Sea, when LL Cool J gets gnawed on by a shark, he bleeds everywhere, which is actually turned into a plot point. He limps around, he has to be helped by the other characters. And here we have people being slammed into cranes and rolled onto ships and just walk it off without a drop of blood. And, the only thing that seems to bleed in the film is a dead shark. In a film about a giant shark eating people. There's a reason that every fucking shark movie that isn't Jaws is a fucking gore fest. They're silly because the very concept of a giant killer shark eating people has been done perfectly by Jaws. And you're never going to beat Jaws. It's a fucking perfect suspense thriller with pitch perfect, world weary characters who get hurt and get drunk and are defined by their flaws as well as their strengths, who work out of boats that have been knocked around the block or towns that look or feel lived in, rather than over-designed science labs filled with technology that you know is going to be absolutely fucking useless by the time it comes around when you actually inevitably have to deal with the 70-foot giant shark. Not only that, there's a later scene where the heroes, and I use that term really lightly, are rushing to confront this shark before it attacks a busy beach, which, okay, fine, adds a ticking clock element that the film's been sorely lacking as it goes through yet another potential end. And there's like 3 or 4 potential ends to this 2-hour shower of shite. But when the shark actually reaches the beach, it eats like 3 or 4 people, while the rest rush to shore with some poorly disguised message about people who only tend to give a shit about themselves, have no respect for nature, and etc. etc. The original Japanese Godzilla films would have plots like this, with an ocean beneath an ocean. It's so stupid. The ocean beneath an ocean is so stupid. Godzilla films, the original Japanese ones, have plots like this, where you'd have some monster under this ocean beneath an ocean, and they would come again, and Godzilla would rise from the ocean to take them on. And they were far more satisfying to watch than this shit. I mean, speaking of the Japanese, this film has fallen into a trap that lots of films have fallen into in recent years. I mean, you could potentially raise the live-action remake of Mulan here, but I haven't actually seen it, so it wouldn't be fair for me to comment. So I'm going to pick on Transformers Age of Extinction again. And this is a situation where the filmmakers have looked with longing eyes at the lucrative Chinese cinema market and have decided to pander to that audience to an embarrassing degree. You see, Statham's character originally gets press-ganged into joining this motley crew and confronting his fears of diving and of the titular Meg, because his wife is trapped in a submarine with 2 companions. They're the first crew that go into the ocean beneath the ocean. So Statham gets down there and saves them with, no real effort whatsoever, until the Meg shows up. The Chinese character sacrifices himself for the others, and Statham's wife goes into a coma. And this is a coma which lasts for pretty much the entire film, and frankly may have lasted the entire film because the character of the wife achieves nothing, contributes nothing, and has no reason for being here apart from being a plot device to get Statham in, because she's overshadowed by Li Bingbing, who comes in as the love interest, completely removing the need to have the wife in the film, other than getting Statham there. And there are so many other ways they could get Jason Statham into the position to need to do the dive to save the crew without just make it a friend, make it a sister. Don't make it the goddamn wife. Li Bingbing is one of the only positive things in the film, and if I were more cynical, I would suggest that this change has been made round about the time it was decided the Meg should be aimed towards a Chinese audience. So I did some reading, depressingly, into the making of the Meg, and it is a joint production between the Chinese government and Warner Brothers, which means that my cynicism about having 2 characters playing the same role, I got it in one, because these characters have to be doubled up exactly like we had in Age of Extinction. So we got to have a greedy corporate Western character to be evil and greedy and twirl his moustache and move the plot along. And then we've got to have an identical character on the same side of the fence, who's a Chinese character who's noble and self-sacrificing, and yet has damn near the same motives. And if you scratch the former of those, just get rid of the Western character, chuck him away, and you lose a pile of stupid jokes that aren't funny, and about 10-15 minutes of screen time where he gets himself killed, because of course he does, because he's a fucking idiot, and you don't lose anything. I mean, okay, fine. Lee Bing is one of the only positive things about the film. Jason Statham, okay, fine. I have a soft spot for Jason Statham. And his eyes are damn near rolling out of the back of his head and onto the screen with some of the stuff that he has to say and do in this film. And to be honest, I can relate to Jason Statham for the first time in my life because, yes, I would be developing a drinking problem too if I was being told that I need to go and sneak up on a 70-foot shark with a harpoon gun and be told, oh, don't worry, he won't notice, you're just one man. Or being put into situations where somehow someone thought it would be a good idea to get Jason Statham to have a fist fight with a 70-foot fucking shark. And also, what the fuck is Ruby Rose doing here? What possible good does it have to hack a character when we're dealing with a giant shark? Or was this just because Warner Brothers was really invested in her because she was going to be playing Batwoman? I think it might be. I think it's a commercial decision. And yeah, you know what? That's it. I'm done. I'm done with this. That's all the time I want to give the Meg. You can try the Meg is a bad film. It's not trying to be a good one. But I'd argue that the opening half of the film tries so fucking hard to fit in enough science to justify its existence. It loses some of the B-movie quality that it might originally have been going for. If you go back to the second review I did, which was the Attack of the 50-Foot Woman, I explained the concept of B-movies if you're interested. And that's lost at that moment. And for the record, I really hate the it's not trying hard enough, so you can't call it a bad film defense. Because any film can be a good film, and even ones that are aimed at being a B-movie can still be really good. But this one just feels lazy, stretched, trying to make money during a quiet period of cinema. It came out at the end of August, by the way. And it's trying to appeal to too wide of an audience, to tick too many boxes along the way, rather than concentrating on just being a really good little gory horror film that's really fucking silly, but you can really get behind after a few pints with your mates. The Meg is a waste of your fucking time, and you just shouldn't bother. Fine. Okay, two questions. Firstly, why does the Meg have eyes when it's been living in the total darkness of the sea beneath the ocean for so long? And why is it attracted to whale sounds when it's confirmed there are no whales in the ocean beneath the ocean? I think I might have just put more thought into this than the actual three writers did. Right, thankfully that's the Meg over and done with. So next up, we're going to have either Excalibur or the Two Popes. I'm going to try and work my way through both of those on Saturday. So it'll be one of those two on Sunday and the other one after Wednesday. And I need to start remembering to bring the jar down. So the next time after we do those two, we're going to give a go to the doing 5 in one session. See if we can just catch up a little bit on numbers. So the 5 films that we're going to be doing, so it's going to be 20 minutes, 5 films. Okay, no, I can't do it. I can't do it because I've just pulled out the first 3 films. And these are films that all are going to need a full episode, so I can't do them. So after Excalibur and the Two Popes, you're getting Underworld. You're getting Green Lantern. And then we're doing the one that I know a few folk have been waiting for. We're doing Fan Fall Stick. So that's the next couple of weeks sorted for me. Thank you very much for watching. Once again, thank you everybody who's donated to these really great causes. Subscribe so you get notifications when more reviews come through. Share it around, like the video so I'll show up in the great YouTube algorithm. And thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in a few days. Bye.